Hey, thought I'd just make a quick little video of a 906 Vortec that I've been working on. This is more for the DIY kind of guy. We pretty much did everything here with that drill. Used this comp cutter. Cut the guides down from about, I think they were at about 760, now they're about 630 for extra retainer to guide clearance there. We're using a pretty short installed 982 spring because we got a ton of those left over from spec sprint car motors here. Left enough there as a locator. The spring was originally intended to be used on a head like this for up to 500-inch lift cam, which is exactly what we're using. Now we can use a positive 530 seal from comp or wherever you want to prefer to get that from. We use the, you see a lot of mixed reviews of this tool, but ours worked really well. I don't use it to pull the studs, but it did work really good for a tap guide. Took a little extra time to bevel the holes, the threads, seat the studs really good. All the studs are at perfect height. Took extra time, cutting those and then cutting the guides. Those are all nicely within spec of one another. We just used the Pioneer 85001 stud. I think they're about $20 US. As far as porting, we're not going to get into porting the runner a ton because this is already a really good head for the motor we're doing here. We're doing a 350 40 over 4-valve relief flat top deal with the El Cheapo Speedmaster RPM air gap knockoff intake. I think it was only a couple $100. Really nice intake for the money. Hit the heads really fast and hard here. Really just opened up the throat, blended the bowls, cleaned up the short turn a lot. Those are pretty nasty on these heads. Made the holes a lot more round. There's the fast cut burr that I use. Just a worn out flame as a finish. I'm not going to get into sand rolling them. Just an idea of where they started versus where we're at. Those holes are far from straight. So here we go. There's kind of the average. And then here's where we're at. So we're using the 194 valve. We went about 89% roughly of the valve diameter for the throat. The exhaust as well. Here we go. Yeah. Again, not round at all. We went 86% of the valve diameter on the exhaust. And again, I hit them really quick. Just really cleaning them up. Open the throat, blend the bowls. They're going to work really well. Usually this setup makes, upwards of 400 horsepower, no problem. We're going to set up a jig here and back cut our own valves. And that's the valve I'm going to set the jig up off of. And then I'll back cut all the valves using the bench grinder. Usually I do use a machine shop for my higher end stuff, but because this is a really big budget deal for this customer, we just went with the 906 Vortex with the pressed in seats, so they're not cracked, nothing like that. They turned out really good. I think the customer's going to be really happy.